When a group is first together, it may take a long time before it can experience its unique sound without having to deal with all the details of the music. But it can be an exciting experience to hear at the outset what the potential sonority is for the group. We need an exercise that will serve to create the balance of sound, to listen to someone other than yourself, to begin to breathe and lead, and to start to rely on the ears more than the eyes. This will begin to shift the focus to the group as a whole, and away from individual technical concerns and worries about licks not mastered, hours not practiced, or tempos not attained. In most activities, we are visually oriented. We see information on a page. We think about it, rearrange it, prioritize it, act on it. But in this exercise, we don't have any music to see. The auditory sense, the ears, will gather all the information, which can be so overwhelming at first. Paul Katz, the founding cellist of the Cleveland Quartet and the director of the Professional String Quartet Training Program at New England Conservatory, speaks of this in a conversation we had.
When I was 13, I played string quartets for the first time. I was at a summer music camp, Idlewild Music Camp in Southern California. And in those days, you weren't supposed to play chamber music when you were young. But I played the first movement of Opus 18, number 1, and I just remember the sense of bewilderment, of all these sounds around me. And, I not only had to keep track of what I was doing, but what everybody else was doing. And how do you keep track of all of that? I mean, the details, the considerations are completely overwhelming to most people. And I used to ask myself, how do I do that? Actually, how do we do that? I mean, and I think I've understand it now. The way I look at that is the single most important thing for a musician, the control center that takes care of everything are the ears. So the ears are in like a constant feedback loop with the hands. Actually, the conscious mind is not so involved. The conscious mind can be there, you need it, kind of hovers in the background, but actually there's this kind of automatic feedback loop between what you hear and what you do. And when the ears, the ears, they hear balance, they hear intonation, they hear beauty of sound, they hear emotional content, right? And you can't possibly consider all of that in a conscious, objective way.
So, how does a group learn to do all that? A group can start to develop its coordinating sense of hearing by playing a simple chord and listening to determine intonation, balance, and range of dynamics while breathing and leading, all without needing to look at a note of music. Let's see how this exercise progresses with the piano trio we saw earlier. First, play the chord in tune. Build from the bass, either cello or piano. Sustain the chord. People may close their eyes to fully experience the sonority.
That's better.
Then establish what I call the absolute value of dynamics. It's important to establish pianissimo and fortissimo, and all the values in between, so that when there is a forte after a piano, there's a clear concept of what this means, and it isn't just a matter of playing a little louder or softer than whatever has come before, what I call situational dynamics. Each player can have a turn leading the others by moving and breathing and changing dynamics. Beginning a phrase with breathing sets people in motion before the sound emerges, and is much better than counting, which is static and not really intrinsic to music. It can take a little while for people to learn to coordinate breathing, moving, and playing, even while playing just one chord.
Now watch Roberta's eyebrows. Do that again, Roberta. That was very interesting. Roberta has very expressive eyebrows, and they're very important in chamber music. When you go to a concert of professional musicians, you will always see their eyebrows doing lots of things. They're not normally conducting each other, but they have expressive eyebrows, and you knew that Roberta was going to start fortissimo, didn't you?
No.
You did. Okay, let's do it again. Excellent. Whoa. Little blue note. Thank you very much.